Hello, my little Christmas stars. Welcome back to the merriest place on the internet. I recently decorated this super pretty, kind of artistic poinsettia Christmas tree, and a few of you said you wanted a walkthrough of kind of how I did that, so I'm basically just going to show you the exact same video, but like talking about how I did it all. I start by taking bunches of flowers. You don't want to just use single flowers. Definitely use some bunches. It'll just speed up your process a little bit. So I start with marking where I want my rows to go. So I put a bunch where I want the row to start, and then I put a bunch where I want the row to end, and then I put one or two, depending on how long the row is, in the middle. I don't fill it in, but just to kind of mark where it's gonna be. Yes, the music in this is from Christmas Lullabies by Dave Cornwall. Links in the description below. That still applies. Yes, I love that music so much, you guys. It's so good. Alright, so then I go, once I've got it all marked out, I go and I start filling in. This is where I fill in with bunches and with individual flowers. So basically I've got 3 different kinds of poinsettias here. Poinsettias. Oh man, we're gonna mess that word up 1,000 times today. We're just gonna roll with it. Anyway, so I have 3 different kinds here. I have some bunches that I got from Dollar Tree, a whole bunch. That's the main gig. I have like 20 to 30, I can't remember how many, bunches from Dollar Tree that have like 5 or 6 floral heads, blossoms in each bunch. And then I have 5, I think, individual big giant maroon beautiful poinsettias that I've had for a couple years now. And I also have some bunches that from Dollar Tree, I also bought about 10 bunches that are a deeper red with glitter on them. And those I cut off individually and just put in all kinds of places. So yeah, those are the flowers that I have. And I also have a few from Dollar Tree from a couple years ago that I cut individually. And so now I'm just taking and I've filled in my rows. So you mark where you want your rows to be. You mark those with some flowers and then you fill them in. And then you want to check that it's even and make sure you're spaced the way you want it spaced. And then you just go through and tidy it all up. So I kind of added in some individual ones. I added in the bigger maroon ones because I had so few. I wanted to make sure they were spaced out nicely in a way that made it look intentional and that felt good to me. And then I'm just going to add these final little tiny ones that are older, and I don't have that many, but anywhere that just needs a little thing to just give it the look that I want it to have. And then I take what I have left over, and that's a really important thing, is to make sure you don't use up all of them when you're doing your rows. Set something aside for a topper. You don't need to set, a designated amount aside. Just keep in mind that you'll need to put something on the top of the tree. So when you're going through and you're filling in all of your rows, just make sure you don't use up everything. The more you have left over, the more you can put in the topper. And yeah, I really just needed one more, and we just had to sacrifice my hairpiece and put it in there, and there we go. So just keep in mind to mark your rows where you want your flowers to go so that you've got it mapped out, fill it in, tidy it up, get it how you want it, and make sure you set some aside for a topper. That is all I have for you on this tree. It's actually really simple. It is not difficult at all to decorate this tree. It just kind of costs a little bit because of how many florals you need. And that is how I decorated my poinsettia tree. I've got more videos over here for you if you like them. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe, and until we meet again, sparkle on.